please ensure that you have read and understood all instructions on the screen before undertaking this job. Start by parking the vehicle on flat, level ground with the handbrake applied. Turn the vehicle off and ensure both front and rear wheels are suitably chocked and the vehicle is safely secured before proceeding.
What's up guys, Mitch here from Superior Engineering. Today we're going to be installing a set of our Nissan Patrol rear lower control arms with this GU Patrol. So first things first, if your vehicle is fitted with sliders, you're probably going to need to drop these off depending on how they're mounted. Due to these vehicles having a factory sub-tank, as the lower control arm bolt's about 140 mil long, you're going to need to drop that slider down to slide the bolt out this way, as you can't slide it out the other way. Obviously, as Nissan fitted it from this side of the chassis because of that factory sub-tank. So Nissan Patrol rear lower control arms are actually offset in your bushes. They're not in a dead straight line. So how to install these ones? Again, obviously our Superior Engineering engraving's got to face outwards, and this goes up at the vehicle end or the chassis end of the control arm when it's fitted in, not down at the diff. And that way all of your bushes are going to align nice and easy to get them set up, because yeah, these are offset, so they're not a dead straight arm. So as you've seen in that situation there, sometimes the diff, as you pull a control arm out, the diff will just drop backwards a little bit. On the hoist, it's easy enough for us to get one of the guys who just can come in, push the diff forward, we can slot the bolt in, and that way she's all good. Other ways you can do it of when you're on the, doing it on the ground. Again, have your bottle jack under your pinion. That makes it a little bit easier for yourself if you're a one-man job sort of thing. You can use straps and that to try and hold the diff in its exact position. That way you're not having to move anything as well. But when on the hoist here, it's as simple as push the diff forward, slot the bolt in, and we're good to go. Now your arms are all installed. And obviously leave these bolts finger tight again, as we don't want to bind these bushes up when the car sits back down on the ground. What we do is we wait until the car's under its full load, the full lift kit's installed, or whatever the install you're doing is fully completed. Leave these bolts loose, drop the car back on the ground whilst it's sitting under its own weight. Then we can do the bolts up. And obviously when we're doing those bolts up using Loctite 262 on all your threads, because obviously four drives get a lot of vibration, we don't want any of those bolts coming loose. Once you're on the ground and the car's under weight, doing the bolts up then stops premature wear of your bushes, because if you do them up nice and tight whilst the vehicle's hanging here in the air, as it drops back to ride height, it's going to twist those bushes up, and they're virtually going to be sitting at what would be usually full flex at ride height. So it's just going to chew those bushes out way too early. So never do your bushes up whilst the car's hanging in the air. So we've completed all the other work we had planned to do to this car. Now we've got it on the 4-post hoist so the vehicle's sitting under its own weight at its new ride height, and we can begin by working through all of the bolts so we can torque it up to the specifications needed for each component. We've just finished up torquing up all of the bolts with Loctite 262 on the lower control arms. So any jobs we have here in the fit bay, when we fit any components and once we've got the bolts torqued up and Loctited, we make sure we put a pen mark on every single bolt, making sure that there's a witness mark. So if any time you jump under the car later on when you're working on it, and you see that one of these pen marks isn't aligned, you know that that bolt's come loose and you need to re-Loctite and retension that bolt. Once that's done, your vehicle's ready to hit the road.